leader case out to forcing a sorry say we ditro a chantro and the achre Ghana for and the good doctor like no bawumia anymore say dollar rate and then 15 equal 16 cities food inflation and then 45% and why na Kennedy a compare ko Japan a central mashe be ni page animo say Mr. Speaker you have to shut him up throne wo di no throne wo twa no na nya dia e be pene amen this for akoso ditro e dey go Ghana for so any Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na say then this for your emergency so no Kennedy ma twe no ho free MPP party no they say he has come and come for good wana some George ne omo kan say na na so ko independent ne dey Kennedy shut up in co independent bia asem na mo ka no e tro food inflation e 26% dollar rate e 14 on no Canadian agyapong is teaching on record because parliament is the house of records na Kennedy say cut one so say no ene o free bank and some about parliament one he will not allow the minority leader to lie to Ghanaians in some no ha yen koni nko tie say na the chamber of parliament is he who so ene
Mr. Speaker, must protect the majority leader when it's at the dispatch box.
Honorable members will specifically be calling names so that we don't use general words. When we hear a member that is intolerant, mention the name of the member. Then I can...
Is to give certain assurances. And that is why the government introduced the 1D1F. The 1D1F is aimed at giving such tax incentives, giving space for production, and that is what the government is doing. All of us know that we need our ministers in office so that they can report to Parliament, so that we can ensure accountability in governance. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, we are here. Mr. Speaker, if Parliament is not functioning, how do we hold government to account? Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the IDA, Mr. Speaker, we dealt with the first part of it. It was left with the 150. We had a debate, and it was left to put in the question. Mr. Speaker, no one can tell me that this is not a national matter, this is not a matter of public interest, this is not urgent. We need the $150 million into the economy to help shore up, Mr. Speaker, our reserves, and to help us, Mr. Speaker, ensure that as the funds are coming in, Mr. Speaker, we know they were talking about the city weekly. We need these dollars in. And I believe that as patriots, our colleagues will support government to undertake this urgent business. Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude by saying that our colleagues have expressed their concerns. We have taken these concerns on board, but we expect that even in the conduct of business, even where we disagree, we should avoid unnecessary rancor. Have your way, have your say, but let us do so with a certain level of candor. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for upholding the Constitution of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, although in the reckoning of time, Mr. Speaker, although the reckoning of time, you chose the last end, Mr. Speaker, but you say you are still within 7 days, within 7 days, and within 7 days.
Today's rate, the exchange rate, is not 15.3, but nobody. Again, the food inflation is not 48, but we didn't say anything. The moment he gets on his feet, everybody is screaming from the other side. So, Mr. Speaker, what is the description that should be given to them for their behavior? It's becoming too much. We can also get up and scream at them. What will be the results you're going to get out of that? So, my honorable members, you all, with all due respect, you don't have the license to scream and think nobody has the license to respond. Yeah, we can also respond accordingly. But what will be the fate of the House? So I'm challenging my minority leader to tell us. I just came from a great bank and I know the rate. So tell us, what is today's rate? You are saying 15.3. Tell us. Thank you very much.
Well,
what is happening in our constituencies? We know that contractors are back to site. Roadworks are ongoing. We know that, Mr. Speaker, food inflation is not 48%. As the minority leader wanted to tell us, it is not 48%. Mr. Speaker, there we go. There we go. I listened to him quietly. Mr. Speaker, you know, I've always said that they are not Democrats. They are intolerant. We listen to the minority leader in silence. But when you are punching them, they can't take the point. We heard you. I sat down. I took notes. And that is you. Speaker, food inflation is not 48%. Mr. Speaker, this government acknowledges that we have challenges in the economy. We didn't see COVID coming. Soon after COVID, we were not expecting a geopolitical situation that would disrupt the global economic...
Honorable Majority Leader, just a minute. Just a minute. Honorable Zaneto, I've seen you on your feet for some time now. What is amiss?
Mr. Speaker, I take some offense by the Majority Leader's statement, implying that the NDC caucus is not democratic or tolerant. I do not feel that if we have all become elected members in this House, which represents the entire country as a legislative arm, he should stand there and declare that our side is not democratic nor tolerant. And I think he should actually withdraw that statement.
Well, Majority Leader, your attention has been drawn to the use of some words which your colleague feels are inappropriate, to say the least. What do you say to that?
Mr. Speaker, I was stressing the point that they should tolerate divergent views. Mr. Speaker, the point was that when the minority leader was on his feet, we all kept quiet and listened to him. And it was my turn to also have my bite. But, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Senator Rollins, if how I put it is a problem, Mr. Speaker, it's only appropriate that same is withdrawn. Except to say that they should tolerate me. Mr. Speaker, by their fruit we are knowing.
Immediate attention and action. In recalling Parliament, I am guided by the principle that the public interest must always be paramount. Our actions and decisions in this House must, however, reflect the will and aspirations of the Ghanaian people, and we must always try to uphold the highest standards of integrity and accountability. Honourable members, as we conduct our deliberation, it is important to recognize that we are in an election year. This is a critical time for our nation, and we must all act responsibly to safeguard our democracy and ensure a peaceful transition of power. I urge each of you to be mindful of your words and actions, both within and outside this chamber. We must eschew conduct that could breed chaos or undermine the integrity of our democratic institutions. Let us conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, upholding the values that define us as a nation. While we are in an election year, we must remember that we still hold the mandate of the Ghanaian people until the expiry of our mandate on the stroke of midnight of 6th January 2024. It is our duty to act in the best interest of the nation, putting aside personal agendas. I am confident that with goodwill and a commitment to dialogue, we can overcome any challenges that may arise. Let us remember that we are all servants of the Ghanaian people, and our primary goal should always be to serve their interests and advance the cause of our nation. As we embark on this session, let us renew our commitment to serving the people of Ghana with diligence, dedication, and humility. Let us work together to build a better Ghana for all our citizens. With this, once again, you are warmly welcome, and I thank all of you for your attention. I will now give opportunity once again to leaders say a few words of welcoming members. We start with the minority leader.